All right, Shalom. I like to start off by saying Ka Halayim La Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Harakah Kodash Ma'amah. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, and double honors to my elder Herawan as well. Salutations to the Akim that are pushing the truth to sincerity and truth, and peace and blessings to the men, women, and children that believe in the name of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. All right, now I'm Khanak Sa'am Ban Yashrala from the Lions in the Yashrala camp, and this is it. Be another Lions Den news and prophecy briefing on current events. And this current article I'm speaking on is entitled Vladimir Putin sends warning to Joe Biden, launches new ballistic missiles during U.S. President's Ireland visit. So as sleepy Joe Biden was visiting Ireland, President Vladimir Putin decides he wants to shoot off some missiles, sending a message that it's like it's sending a message that these individuals mean business, man. While America around here playing and bluffing, these countries are not playing, man. These countries they dead serious, man. They dead serious. They're gonna put a stop to the pretty much the bullshit that America has going on. Dealing with these sanctions, dealing with them funding and helping Ukraine with this war, dealing with meddling their nose with China has going on with Taiwan. It's like these other nations are putting their foot down and sending a message to the United States that they're not going to take their crap anymore, man. It says, Vladimir sent a warning to Joe Biden through the launch of new ballistic missiles during the United States president's visit to Ireland. RadarOnline.com has learned. Putin successfully launched the new intercontinental missile on Tuesday evening to commemorate the 62nd anniversary of cosmonaut Yuri Gagarin being sent into space. While Russia flexed its latest ballistic missiles, Biden visited his ancestors' homeland, Ireland. It says Putin's new missiles were launched from the Kapustrin Yard testing site in Artrescan, those hard words, and successfully it hit its target, the Surrey Sagan range in the neighborhood country, Slovakia, and Russian ally Kazakhstan. The Russian Defense Ministry released a statement on the launch while praising the Kremlin's military efforts. Putin's war in Ukraine charged past its 1-year mark with no end in sight, right? Because they're not going to put a stop to it. And my question is, this heavily firepower that they have, and they don't have to be all nuclear based, but I'm wondering, are they going to start using these type of weaponry in Ukraine? Because all it takes is a couple of those missiles that are a part of Russia's arsenal to wipe out Ukraine and end this war. In a sense, it kind of seems to me that it's kind of like a cat playing with its food. It'll play with the mouse a little bit, wound it, let it get up and try to scurry away, and then catch it again and play with it. And it's kind of seemed like that's what's going on with this war in Ukraine. I don't know, man. Because I believe easily that Russia could just send a couple missiles over there and be done with it. But I guess there needs to be certain things in place before they escalate it to the next level, All right, it says the combat crew of the strategic missile troops successfully launched an intercontinental ballistic missile off the land-based mobile missile system from the Kapustrin Yard State Central Training Ground in the Artrescan region. The Russian Defense Ministry said in a statement. The TASS news outlet reported that the strategic deployment was aimed at testing the advanced military supply of intercontinental ballistic missiles. All right. It says the Russian Defense Ministry added that the launch permitted proving that design and engineering solutions used in the development of new strategic missiles complex are correct. All right. And it says, under an agreement with the neighboring countries, the launch was intended as an exercise for its hypothetical target and tested the engineering capabilities of Putin's new weapons in real time. All right, so they're testing it like as if it was a real war scenario going on, and I wonder who the make believe target was. You know, I got a couple ideas. All right, so it says the launch fully dispatched its mission. The Russian Defense Ministry said of the deployment. The new missiles were believed to be part of the Topol ME system, and while it was not confirmed, a Russian military outlet claimed the launch was a test of the new equipment for the first time. According to outlet Military Russia, the combat missile, also known as the Yars-E, can be deployed from a mobile launcher. Local Russian mobile launcher, so it doesn't have to be out of a stationary silo, because they got these mobile launchers that I know you've seen them on the movies, to where the big things where they're carrying the missiles. That's a launcher, so it can be launched from that at any given time, and placed wherever they want to place it. It says local Russian news also claimed that the new missile would solve the expiration issues of previous combat equipment, as well as allow the payload of the launch on a platform unified with many modern missiles. The Kremlin was expected to test out more new combat equipment in the coming days, which included the test of a deadly hypersonic Sarmat rocket dubbed the Satan II by Western countries. Oh, wow. It says the Sarmat rocket weighs around 208 tons and was said to be the size of a 14-story building. So these are the new testing that that Russia's performing, man. And that's another way, in my opinion, of flexing their muscles. All right, that's another way of flexing their muscles, man. And this is going to be the more we see these things develop, the more new weapons we're going to see coming forth from not only Russia but these other countries, even America and NATO too, because they're going to get into it a little bit. But America's not going to be able to stand the test of time, man. And everybody's going to start pulling away from America. Prime example, it was either the Elder Herawan or one of the apostles. They were speaking on, I think it was the Elder Herawan, was speaking on how, with everything that's going on with the sanctions against Russia, right, dealing with this whole issue going on with Ukraine, that Europe is suffering from it, right? So now if you buy energy from Russia, you're going to be sanctioned also. And Europe was getting a lot of their energy sources from Russia. So eventually this is going to lead into these shall turn and hate the whore and burn her with fire, man. So all the countries that set America up as being the hammer of the earth, all right, the ones that are using that are holding the hammer and swinging, they're going to drop the hammer and burn it down, man. And America's not even aware. Matter of fact, let me get this. Esau's not even aware. America's not even wasn't aware when they dropped the bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki that was going to be their ultimate destruction. And ultimately, Esau doesn't know by their development of these nuclear weapons, right, was going to lead to their ultimate destruction, right? So this is Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 23. It says, 21. It says, go up against, 22. It says, a sound of battle is in the land and of great destruction. And that's what these missiles sound like, man. These missile tests, that's the war in Ukraine, the war in the Gaza Strip over there in the Middle East, the proxy wars that are being fought with the militia over there in the Middle East, right? That's the sound of battle in the land, man. The wars and rumors of war, the discussion of the wars, even sanctions are the sound of battle, man. Because sanctions being placed on another country, that's economic warfare. That's exactly how Japan was forced into World War II because America wanted to jump into World War II, right? So they forced sanctions on Japan, right? Crushing their economy, right? Starving the people, but so they had no choice but to enter into the war and wage war against America. And America wanted to jump into this, into World War II. But ultimately, they don't know that's going to be a snare unto them. All right? Jeremiah 50 and 22 again, it says, and the sound of battle is in the land of great destruction. How is the hammer of the earth cut asunder and broken? How is Babylon become a desolation among the nations, man? And you're witnessing that right now. We are witnessing Babylon becoming a desolation among the nations. It says, I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon, and thou wast not aware. Right, and that snare is these nuclear missiles, man. It was a trap from the beginning set up by Yahweh by Shem Yahushai. It says, thou art found and also caught, because thou hast striven against the Lord. The Lord Yahweh by Shem Yahushai hath opened his armory, and have brought forth the weapons of his indignation. For this is the work of the Lord of hosts in the land of the Chaldeans, man. And we bring that scripture out a lot when it comes to dealing with these different types of articles and prophecies, man. Because 200 million missiles are going to land on this place and burn this place to oblivion, man. And America's going to be ultimately, utterly destroyed, man. Thus saith Yahweh by Shem Yahushai. Thus saith the word of Yahweh by Shem Yahushai. He's spoken it, so it's going to come to pass, man. And nobody's aware of it except for the elect. All right. It says, verse 25, the Lord has opened up his armory and have brought forth the weapons of his indignation, for this is the work of the Lord of hosts, Yahweh by Shem Yahushai, in the land of the Chaldeans. Come up against her from the uttermost border, open her storehouses, cast her up as heap, and destroy her utterly. Let nothing be left of her, man. And that's ultimately what's going to happen to America, man. And you're witnessing these other countries flexing their muscles, putting themselves in array against Babylon the Great, which is America, man. So you got Russia sending a message to the United States by missile testing while President Biden was over there visiting what he's called his homeland, Ireland. And, we go into some of the Irish, which are some of the Irish are Israelites, but I can't see Sleepy Joe being one of them, man. I just wanted to throw that out there. But Lord willing, this lesson is edifying to serve his purpose. With that, like Sekah, Halayim, La Yahweh, Ba Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba Hashem, Harakak, Padash, Ma'amath. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone. Double honors to my elder Heroin as well. Salutation to the argument that are pushing the truth, the sincerity and truth. And peace and blessings to the men, women, and children that believe in the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Shalom.